All right. So good evening. Yeah, my hand's pretty messed up. I know you're probably wondering, is that really still on there? Yeah, he really got me. Anyways, um, so I came across an article today, and then I went to go check, and see that there is this executive order that is being pushed by Trumpster Fire. But it's very interesting and it's very telling. Now, granted, a little bit of backstory. Clinton had proposed a similar executive order, but just different wording. And basically, it was saying that anybody had the right, the religious freedom to worship or do whatever they wanted on their own, without any kind of persecution. Right? That was the statement. Basically, it was just allowing anybody of any faith to be able to practice or pray or whatever their religious practices are without any kind of retribution or anything like that or being stopped from it, right? But Trump took it a little further. Yeah, good old Trumpster Fire is stirring. So this is really interesting. He is trying to stow bigotry, misogyny, and xenophobia. And then he is trying to shove racism down our throats. Even though, a lot of people are racist, apparently. They just, well, either they aren't, but they think that it's cool, which a lot of kids think that it's just cool to try and just say racist tropes. But at the end of the day, they know good damn well. Like, motherfucker, you can't be racist if you listen to rap music. You can't be racist if you dress in a certain way. You can't be racist if you're trying to get your lips fuller. You can't be racist if you're trying to get a tan. You can't be racist if you're trying to build your butt. All the things that we are, that you hate us for, you are trying to be. So you don't hate us, you envy us. But anyways, let's get back to this. So, with his proposal, with his executive order, he is saying that, yeah, you can do all of those things, but let's take it a step further. Let's really gun it out there. You also are encouraged to tell other people why your religion is far more superior than others. Now, I hope when I tell you this, a lot of you will understand where I'm going with this, because you should understand that only Christians are and I mean, I don't even see Catholics really doing this, but I'm not saying that they don't, but I only see Christians or evangelicals, not Christians, because there is a difference. There is a stark difference. Evangelicals don't believe in God or Jesus. They just hold the Bible in front of you and profess that this is who I am and what I believe in, while systematically completely fucking off everything that it says in there. But I just thought it was so interesting, because it's like, wait a second. You're trying to tell me that you are supposed to be telling other people why your religion is better than theirs? That's how religious fights start out, and that's how you have arguments, riots, and all these kinds of things. Because saying that yours is better than someone else's is absolutely ludicrous. When you are born in a certain country that practices a certain religion, you will only see that religion and nothing else as being better. But only Christianity is the only one that I know of. And I mean, Catholicism is an offshoot of Christianity. And so, they have the same beliefs, but only Christians are the only ones that I know that will actively tell you that their God is better than anything and everything around. Only their God is the number one God. I mean, think about how many times the Bible has been rewritten, and then coming all the way down to like King James, the gay rapist, and the pedo guy, and slave owner, and murderer, and he would cut people, he would cut people's, things off, and hands and legs and all these kinds of things off in the name of, well, this is my Bible that it tells me that I can do it. Yeah, because you had it written. You had it, you had it changed for your likings, for your benefit. But you see how that works? Even with that, There was a guy that was strong enough at that time to have the Bible rewritten so that it benefited what he said. And then he used it against the people. That was Christianity. And now I find it interesting that the more you keep fighting and trying to press people to do something, the less they want to do it. So the numbers for religion, period, are dwindling. You know? So I just found that so interesting that he would try and make an effort to say, well, look, I'm going to stir up these Christians over here because everything else that I've been trying to do to get the attention off of me hasn't been working. So let me try and do this. Let me bring in the Christians into this war. Because you know god dang well, there are going to be 1,050 evangelicals out there at their job trying their best to stow up some sort of attention by saying, my God's better than yours. You should be worshiping that. But now, within the provisions, it says that if someone says that they aren't wanting or do not want it, that you are supposed to respect that and let it go. We'll see how that works out. All right. So there's that information. All right, I'm going to move on from that real quick. All right, so recently, and I know everybody's probably seen it, you know, Trump did his little interview, and this guy says that I don't, like, of all the people that I have been watching and all the news channels, I have not heard anyone say anything about this. This man sat there and said, yeah, I was never invited to Epstein's Island, and I didn't have the privilege to go, but I didn't want to go. Okay, so you didn't have the privilege, you weren't invited, but you didn't want to go? That sounds like the little kid that was like, well, I didn't want to go anyways. I didn't like your stupid party anyways, man. I know a lot of you will have some story where you know, even to this day as an adult, yeah, there are people that will tell you, oh, well, I wasn't invited, but I didn't want to go no way. Man. Now, there's something that I just don't think maggots are even taking into consideration. They don't even, it's like they just won't connect dots, but they want answers, but they're right there slapping you dead in the face. Ivana, one of his ex-wives, I think she's the one. Is she the one that's married in the golf course? All right, so she was Ghislaine's friend, seen with them riding around. This girl used to talk about how they would ride all together in the car while they would pick up other. Ghislaine would go out and case other young ladies for them, but Ivana was a part of that. Was in with all the parties. Lest we not forget, he met Melania. He was given Melania by Epstein. Nobody wants to talk about that, and that's why she's really remaining silent, because she was one of Epstein's girls, and she was given to Trump, which is how she was able to get that Einstein visa in order to be here. And then later on, they show up. He's at their wedding. I'm sorry. If my friend Rob Banks, and I have been best friends with my friend who robbed banks for over a dozen years, right? And I talk about robbing banks, and I have been seen at bank robberies. Wouldn't it make sense that I am a bank robber? I mean, so you were seen with Jeffrey. You're seen at his offices. He's hanging out at your spot. You live 2 blocks away from each other. You are doing all these parties and CNN talk, or not CNN. You're doing all these talks and whatnot, and they're being filmed on the news. All these kinds of things. But he never went to the island. You flew on the plane, and you know how many people and how many times they flew on the plane that went to the island, but you never did that. And you have his plane. You took his